Lord Jesus Christ, and welcome to St. Cyril and Methodius Ukrainian Orthodox Church. I'm Father Gregory, the pastor. It is March 17th, Sunday of the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the garden, Forgiveness Sunday, and St. Patrick's Day. There's a great deal going on today in the Orthodox Church, and, well, given everything else, sorry, St. Patrick, but you're going to just be probably down at the bottom of the list of things that need to be done. Because today we commemorate, like I said, the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the garden and the Sunday of Forgiveness. That's the day in which Orthodox Christians engage in the rite of mutual forgiveness, beginning with the priests. We ask each other for forgiveness so that we can begin the great fast with a clean or clear conscience. We have a lot of trouble in our society understanding forgiveness. It's often equated with saying that, well, what you did doesn't matter. But in fact, if what I did didn't matter, if I hurt you, if what I did didn't really cause you any harm, then there's no need for forgiveness. Forgiveness is what we do, what we offer when people have, in fact, committed a harm against us. St. John Damascene says that we hold to the tradition of the fathers and we do not move those marks. The reason that we do not move the marks placed down for us by the fathers has to do with our understanding of tradition, and especially, we might say, the anthropology of tradition. Human beings are very interesting among mammals, especially actually among all living things that move, especially. It's that we're kind of born, well, stupid. A horse at the very beginning of its life knows how to be a horse. The same with a cow, same with a rabbit, chicken, fish. All the other creatures of the world know what they're about from the very beginning, and that's because they have instinct. But human beings are not whats, we're whos. And we need to learn how to be human. We need to learn how to be human. We need to learn how to be not just a person in a general sense, but the unique person that we were created to be. So that means that we are very frail. We are born very limited and dependent upon not only God, but also our parents and really this large social network. And that's where tradition comes in. Tradition is for the human what instinct is for the animal. But tradition is something that as human beings we need to choose and affirm for ourselves. Holy tradition, or the tradition of the Orthodox Church, is in that sense like any other tradition. It's a response to human frailty and limitations. But unlike those other kinds of traditions, holy tradition is meant to respond to our ontological frailty, our dependence upon God, and our tendency as fallen creatures to reject that dependency, to push against, or to not wish to be dependent upon God. Holy tradition teaches us then how not simply to depend on God, but to do so with gratitude so that we can become saints, so that we can come to share more fully in the divine life. So what does all this have to do with forgiveness? Well, forgiveness is when I say to you the harm that you've done me, and by implication, the harm that you've done yourself by violating one of the commandments of God, is something that I will not hold against you. I will not exploit, in this case, your moral frailty, even though you have committed a sin against me and sin against God. Think about that for a moment. To not hold the moral frailty of those who've offended us against them. To say to the person, you are more than this sin which you have committed against me. This is forgiveness. When we extend that forgiveness to each other, we are doing for each other what God has done for all of us. God doesn't hold our moral failings against us. He doesn't hold our rebellion against us. He forgives us. He extends himself to the point where he not only shares his life with us, but he shares in our life. When I forgive, when I'm forgiven, there is a sharing of life. I share in the life of the person who offended me. I share in the life of the person against whom I've committed an offense. Forgiveness is really just simply another way of saying, I wish to enter into communion with you. I wish to love you and to be loved by you. And all of this is guided and guarded by holy tradition. It helps remind us what it is to forgive, what it is to be in communion with one another. It's a glorious thing. Well, it is now 8 o'clock and I have to get ready for liturgy this morning. If you are here in the Madison area and you're an Orthodox Christian and you don't have anywhere to go to church, maybe consider coming to liturgy here at 9:30 and staying for the rite of mutual forgiveness and maybe a little coffee and a snack afterwards. And you know what? If you're here in Madison and you've liked some of the things I said, maybe think about coming to liturgy with us as well. Again, 9:30 at St. Cyril and Methodius Ukrainian Orthodox Church at 1020 Regent Street in downtown Madison. And hey, if you're living in some other part of the country, why not look into the Orthodox Church and see what we're about? All right, well, have a blessed Sunday. Please forgive me if I've offended you in any way. And happy St. Patrick's Day. God bless you, and bye-bye.